On August 9th, 2026, Typhoon Dolphin slammed into China's Zhejiang province. It made landfall at Yuhuan, an island city south of Shanghai, at 5:30 p.m. local time, packing winds over 150 kilometers per hour, a Category 5 storm. An hour later, it hit Wenzhou, a city of 9 million, and pushed inland. It was a devastating storm. Yet, remarkably, it killed no one. This extraordinary outcome was thanks to an unprecedented feat of anticipation. Over 1 million people had been moved. 1,000 emergency shelters were open. From Wenzhou alone, 900,000 evacuated. From Taizhou, 390,000. China issued a red alert days in advance. Shanghai cancelled 1,400 flights. When the typhoon hit, the coast was empty. The danger wasn't over. Torrential rain and flooding continued for days. But the initial landfall was a testament to a state apparatus that saw what was coming and acted on a scale few nations could manage. The question isn't the storm's reality, but what this capacity to empty a coast reveals about the nation that did it, and what such capacity truly costs. The moment. The chart for landfall shows Capricorn rising. This ascendant describes the event's character, structure, authority, and the state, suggesting a machine executing its design. The opposite point, the descendant, shows what the moment encounters, Cancer, the sign of home and shelter. So the state apparatus confronts the domestic lives of 1 million people, a tension that defines the story. The moon, representing the public, sits in Cancer, the sign of home. The public, driven from their homes, are astrologically placed in the sign of shelter, suggesting both the ache of displacement and the competence of the evacuation. Both the Sun and Mars are void of course, meaning they make no further significant aspects before changing signs. The Sun in Leo, identity and leadership, and Mars in Gemini, action and emergency services, are simply following existing momentum. This points to execution, not last-minute decisions. Plans were already in motion. Landfall was when preparation met the test. 2 fixed stars add a quiet note. The South Node is near Regulus, the royal star of leadership, which grants authority but warns against pride. Mars sits on Betelgeuse, a star of martial success. The chart acknowledges the bravery and triumph, but Regulus warns against carelessness. An empty coast with no deaths is an achievement, but one that could breed overconfidence. Deeper currents are also at play. Neptune, planet of the sea and dissolution, and Pluto, planet of deep power, form a near-exact sextile, indicating opportunity and flow between these forces. This is a 500-year civilizational cycle. The typhoon is Neptune's domain, the rising sea, the dissolving coast. The response is Pluto's. Power mobilized, masses moved. The sextile means these forces work together rather than clash. A cradle configuration in the sky means a real division, storm versus state, is supported by means to live with it, the evacuation. This entire period is on the cusp of a total solar eclipse on August 12th, 3 days after landfall, at 20 degrees of Leo. Eclipses are reset points. This one falls in the sign of leadership and crosses eastern China. It doesn't cause the storm or response, but it colors the aftermath, a leadership reset, marking a new chapter. The global mood is dispersed. The Barbault Cyclic Index, measuring global tension, stands at 851.7, trending upward but toward a dispersal peak. This means the world's attention is scattered. In a dispersed period, the crisis is absorbed domestically. China's response is received by a world not looking for another crisis, suggesting reassurance about state capacity rather than instability. This moment echoes the Chariot tarot card, directed will, opposing forces harnessed to one purpose, 1 million people moved by a single command. The Chariot signifies mastery, but also asks what gets left behind. What it touches. China's founding chart for the 1949 proclamation of the People's Republic has the Sun in Libra and the Moon in Aquarius. The moon in Aquarius is striking for a state built on mass mobilization. The public is seen as a collective, an idealized body that can be moved as one. This explains why a 1 million-person evacuation is possible. The founding chart envisions a dirigible public. At landfall, transiting Pluto sits within a degree of China's natal moon. Pluto signifies deep transformation and raw power. The moon is the public. This Pluto conjunct moon describes months of profound reconfiguration in the relationship between the Chinese state and its people. Moving 1 million people is an expression of this transit. Pluto on the moon describes power exerted on the public at scale, regardless of benevolence. The evacuation is one face of it, others will follow. Saturn, planet of the state and hardship, is at 14 degrees of Aries, opposing China's natal Neptune at 14 degrees of Libra. Neptune rules the sea and dissolution. This opposition means the state's apparatus confronts a dissolving force. The storm was Neptune. The evacuation was Saturn. The opposition held this time. But oppositions are managed, not resolved. The sea will keep coming. The chart also shows strong support. Saturn forms a close trine to China's natal Mars, planet of the military and industry. This trine signifies ease and coordination, structure and muscle work together. This transit shows a state where civil defense, military logistics, and emergency infrastructure are aligned. The machine works, but a quieter signature hints at brittleness. The vitality lens of the founding chart shows dominant air elements, thinking, planning, logistics, but a weak water element, feeling, emotional processing. The nation excels at moving data and people, but water, the uncounted human cost of displacement, is weakest. 1 million people moved. The system knows where they went. What it struggles to account for is what it felt like to leave home. The air-dominant system handles logistics. The water-poor system postpones feelings. China's 6th house, daily services and civil service, has Cancer on its cusp, ruled by the moon, which is now transformed by Pluto. The daily services, shelters, food, water, medical care are under deep transformational pressure. This is where capacity is truly tested. Not the dramatic evacuation, but the unglamorous days of sheltering. The chart suggests this infrastructure is being profoundly reshaped. The same Pluto pressure, remaking the public, also remakes the care system. Because a public moved at this scale needs a care system that can receive it. A new Saturn-Neptune cycle, barely 3% complete, began in February 2026. This 36-year cycle governs the relationship between state structures and forces of dissolution, the terms of engagement between authority and uncontrollable forces, the sea, flood, slow dissolving of the solid, are being set. The typhoon response is an early test, setting a precedent. The state acted early, at scale, and the coast held. But the cycle is young, the terms aren't settled, they are being written. How it rolls forward, the immediate aftermath holds the chart's caution. Mars enters Cancer on August 11th, 2 days after landfall. Mars signifies military and unrest, Cancer, home life. Mars moving into Cancer suggests recovery efforts moving into homes and neighborhoods. Rebuilding is different from evacuation. The total solar eclipse on August 12th at 20 degrees of Leo, with Mars on the ascendant in Yuhan's chart, is the aftermath signature, a leadership reset with martial energy pushing forward. This eclipse period, lasting weeks, suggests leadership's handling of recovery will be scrutinized. The evacuation's success sets a high bar. Recovery will be measured against it. The economic mood is also important. The Bradley Siderograph, tracking financial market temper, stands at 9.43. Trending downward from a brief peak of 12.55 on August 13th, perhaps from the zero-death news, then sharply drops to 2.59 by August 21st. A brief sigh of relief may be followed by tightening financial mood through late August. This matters for the economic cost of the evacuation. Rebuilding is expensive, cancelled flights have a price, and displaced people need support. If the market tightens, the political response may feel the pinch. A partial lunar eclipse follows on August 28th at 4 degrees of Pisces. Neptune's sign of the sea and dissolution. In Yuan's chart, Uranus, planet of sudden shocks, sits on the descendant. This is a signature to watch. Late August could bring sudden developments related to water, flooding, or infrastructure. The inland consequences of a storm that changed shape but didn't end. Floodwaters, saturated hillsides. These are Neptune's domain. The storm's second wave may be water, reaching places the evacuation never touched. Jupiter trines Saturn, exact on August 31st, offers structural support. Jupiter is growth, Saturn is the state and responsibility. The trine suggests aligned political, economic conditions for recovery. The state has capacity, and the economy isn't hostile. This is a background note, not a guarantee. For families returning, businesses counting losses, farmers assessing fields, the trine means the system won't fight itself while trying to help. It doesn't mean help will be fast. Looking further, the full moon on September 26th at 3 degrees of Aries again has Mars on the ascendant in the Yuan chart. The same martial urgency as the August eclipse. Recovery isn't a single push, but a series of pressure points. Flood damage assessments, infrastructure repairs, questions about the next typhoon season will be pressing. Saturn, currently retrograde, will oppose China's natal Neptune multiple times before moving on. The standoff between state structures and dissolving forces is recurring. Where does this leave foresight? The chart suggests it's strong in the air-dominant, Saturn-Mars supported realm of logistics and command and control. The state can see and act. It's brittle in the water-poor realm of emotional cost, in the assumption that past success guarantees future success, and in confronting forces that cannot be permanently defeated, only repeatedly met. The moon card in tarot, a path between towers, uncertain light, water moving beneath, is the image for months ahead. The storm passed, the water is still moving. Recent history and where this is heading. To see the magnitude of the typhoon's path is to look into a larger, slow-moving sky. This story is not an isolated incident, but a ripple in a grander cycle known as Saturn conjunct Neptune, currently dancing between 0 and 1 degree in Aries. In plain terms, this transit describes a nation struggling to hold crumbling, rigid ideologies against the rising tide of reality, forcing a raw choice between false generalities and authentic, messy rebuilding. This atmospheric pressure weaves the storm's fury with political tightness and financial unease. As this cycle persists, the gaze turns inward. Next week, the planet Mars slips into Cancer on August 11th, a shift that tends to make nations defensive, prioritizing the protection of homes, borders, and food stocks. This defensive mood may intensify when a total solar eclipse sweeps across Leo on August 12th, potentially illuminating the optics of leadership and demanding that heavy-handed authority reveal its soft underbelly. Summary. A Category 5 typhoon met an empty coast, showing a state with rare operational alignment, but whose deepest transit reshapes the public's relationship with that power. Watch for inland flooding and landslide risk through late August. The partial lunar eclipse at 4 degrees Pisces on August 28th, with Uranus on Yuan's descendant, signals sudden water-related developments. Watch the economic cost of evacuation and rebuilding as the financial mood tightens. The Bradley Siderograph, trending downward from its August 13th peak, shows a market temper shifting from relief to restraint. Watch recovery leadership for a reset of expectations. The total solar eclipse at 20 degrees Leo on August 12th, with Mars on Yuan's ascendant, colors the aftermath with urgency and scrutiny. Watch the sheltering and daily services infrastructure under deep transformation pressure. Transiting Pluto's conjunction with China's natal moon profoundly reshapes the public's relationship to state power and daily care. watch the state's ongoing confrontation with coastal and environmental threats. The new Saturn-Neptune cycle, alongside Saturn's opposition to China's natal Neptune, signals recurring tests of the state against dissolving forces. The storm didn't break the system, but the months ahead will test whether logistical mastery can hold the weight of the human cost it so efficiently moved. Before you go, watching a coast empty out and a storm pass is strange work. It leaves a lot of leftover quiet. But for those facing the aftermath in a shelter or at home, the worry hasn't always quieted down. If you want to see where the planetary tides are taking us over the next few weeks, a monthly transit forecast can give you a clear picture of the rhythm coming, so you know where to direct your focus and where to pull back. And if you're trying to untangle where you stand in the middle of it all, a situation obstacle advice snapshot might help you see exactly what's in front of you, what's blocking the path, and the gentle steps to move through it. Both of these are available over at Viastaro. A word from the channel. If you found a sense of order in where we stand today, please hit subscribe and let us know in the comments what story you want us to sort through next. I'll hand you over to Arthur now, who'll take this news straight to the table of cards to see what else is hiding in the shuffle.
My thanks to Maisie for that illuminating chart of the skies above this extraordinary event. Now, let us turn to the cards to see what further truths they might reveal about this moment of mass evacuation and its human echoes. This Celtic cross reading, drawn from the Smith-Waite deck for today, the 13th of August 2026, examines the climate of this event. These are the forces, fears, and potential outcomes that swirl around a nation's confrontation with a storm. The present, Nine of Pentacles reversed. This card speaks of a project voided, a material success undermined. It reflects the chart's Capricorn ascendant. It is the state's structural achievement in emptying the coast. Yet reversed, it warns this triumph may feel hollow for those displaced. Their sense of security and comfort, the domain of Pentacles, profoundly disrupted, echoing the emotional cost noted in the reading. The challenge, Three of Pentacles, reversed. Here, the card of collaborative mastery is inverted, suggesting mediocrity and weakness in execution. Combined with the previous card, it cautions that the magnificent logistical feat may now face the far harder, less glorious work of sustaining care in the shelters. There, coordination could fray under the immense ongoing pressure. The foundation, Temperance, a long-standing influence of measured combination and management. This speaks directly to China's founding vision, that Aquarian moon ideal of a dirigible public and the current Saturn-Mars trine showing aligned infrastructure. It is a deep-rooted capacity to temper and blend opposing forces into a workable whole. The recent past, Three of Swords, a card of rupture, division, and heartache. This is the raw, recent pain of the event itself. It is a necessary but painful separation of people from their homes, the heart pierced by the storm's onset. It is the human reality behind the Capricorn-Cancer axis the chart described. The Crown, Four of Wands, reversed. The best potential outcome here is not a grand celebration, but a scaled-down version of prosperity and stability. It suggests the hope is for a functional, if not beautiful, return to normalcy. This means homes made secure again, communities beginning to rebuild, but with a memory of disruption tempering any pure felicity. The near future, Six of Pentacles. This card of measured distribution and aid is what comes next. It aligns with the chart's focus on the sixth house of daily services under transformation. It is the practical, ongoing work of allocating resources, aid, and support to those in need during the recovery, a test of the system's sustained goodwill. Yourself, Queen of Wands. This is how the state sees itself: magnetic, honorable, successful in its decisive action. It corresponds to the Leo Sun leadership and Mars in Gemini's communicative energy during the evacuation. It is a confident, commanding presence managing the crisis with life-affirming determination. External influences, Two of Pentacles. The external forces are those of juggling, agitation, and competing interests. This mirrors the financial tightening shown by the Bradley Siderograph. The state now must balance the colossal economic cost of the operation against other national needs. The endless cord of budget stretched taut. Hopes and fears, Three of Cups. The inner aspiration is for this story to conclude in plenty, merriment, and community solace. It is a happy issue where the collective spirit triumphs. The fear, of course, is that this hopeful outcome remains out of reach, lost to the ongoing pressures and divisions. The outcome, Seven of Cups, reversed. Where this leads is away from illusion and confused choices toward a clear, determined project. Reversed, this card suggests a success born of confronting reality, of making hard decisions about resource allocation and priorities. It combines with the Six of Pentacles to show a pragmatic, if difficult, path forward. A word from the channel. Thank you for following this story with me all the way to the end. As a small channel finding its footing, your likes and subscriptions genuinely help us reach the people who appreciate this kind of analysis. Please share your thoughts or what you would like to explore next in the comments below. Until next time, take care.